Okay guys, it's time for another one of these Habs News Updates, and in today's video, we're gonna do a quick tank update, okay, because that's what we do around here. We'll take a look at some of the new injured players, talk some trade rumors, take a look at some recent interesting comments that were made by Sidney Crosby and Justin Barron, and chat about Jordan Harris and friends. But first, before we begin, if you're a fan of the Habs, or just poor Pierre LeBrun's casual bowel movements during airtime, then please consider subscribing to my channel as I upload a crap ton of hockey content and would really enjoy having some more of you grasshoppers tag along for the ride. Now, let's get the dirty, rotten tank update out of the way here first, boys. It's no secret anymore. The Canadiens are still at the bottom of the league, which is, of course, the very best spot for them to be right now. Now, you may be asking why. Why don't you want to see the Habs win? And my answer to that is because there's no point. What's winning gonna do? It is now officially impossible for them to make the playoffs anyway. So, carbs aren't the enemy anymore, boys. Wins are the enemy. Moving on, Jordan Harris's season is now over. And as soon as the goal was scored in overtime, Elliote Friedman opened up a big old can of worms on Twitter, confirming that he's already heard Harris is about to sign a 2-year ELC with the Canadiens, and also don't be surprised if he actually plays in the NHL at some point throughout the remainder of the season and burns off the first year of his ELC. Now, this is some pretty big news, and I'm literally just waiting here for the Canadiens to announce this contract. It's going to happen any minute now. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he's already en route to Montreal. And it's going to be fun, you know, seeing what this guy looks like as he takes the next step. Harris, or Harry Ass, whatever you want to call him, he finished up his season with 5 goals and 15 assists, giving him 20 points in 38 games this year. Not too shabby. Another Habs prospect that just wrapped up his season was Will Ferrell's kid, Sean. And despite his efforts, you know, putting up a goal and an assist during his elimination game, it wasn't enough for Harvard to get the job done. He finishes this year with 26 points in 23 games, and he's another prospect you might want to keep an eye on. Now, on to the Habs themselves. We'll start things off with the injury updates. Brendan Gallagher and Ryan Poehling will not travel with the team because they're still not ready. Meanwhile, we got Carey Price still sitting at home eating lots of cheese and chugging back the old Pepto-Bismol because he's dealing with an illness, a non-COVID related illness. And I don't know about you guys, but around here, we call that the shits. Moving on, we've got some Jonathan Drouin news, and if you're wondering how he's doing, it's, believe it or not too good at all. He's hurt, okay? Jonathan Drouin is hurt yet again. This time, the team announced that he's out indefinitely and he's been placed on injury reserve. They're calling this an upper body injury, and who knows, maybe this could be the last time we see Drouin play throughout this season, or if he's not in Kent Hughes' plans, ever. Jeff Petrie is another guy that's about to miss some significant time from the Canadiens lineup. He's out with a lower body injury, and this potentially opens up a spot for our new boy, Justin Barron. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm itching to see what Baran looks like in the NHL. And there ain't no bigger deep fryer to throw this kid into than the game against the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Oh man, to win over some of the Canadiens fans and choke slam Mitch Marner, huh? Maybe we'll get to see a tag team match or something. Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner versus Justin Barron and the Crossbar. Bam! Now, speaking of Baron, he's also been receiving some high praise from none other than Sidney Crosby. Yeah, you might have heard of that name before. And according to Chris Letang, Crosby couldn't believe that the Habs traded away Baron. In fact, he thinks it was a mistake. Crosby would say, quote, upon learning of the trade, "I never would have done this if I were the Avalanche. This kid here, he's going to be a good hockey player, he's ready to play in the NHL, and he's going to be a good player." And I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty big coming from a guy like Crosby. Apparently Crosby trained together with this kid during the offseason, he knows a lot about him, and yeah, I'm expecting some pretty big things. Okay, God, stop. Back to Jeff Petrie now. Here's an interesting thought. According to Sportsnet's very own Eric Engels, Jeff Petrie was almost dealt just before the trade deadline. Apparently, there was a deal that almost went down between the Habs and the Flyers, which would have saw Jeff Petrie get shipped to Philly, and in return, the Canadiens would have received James Van Riemsdyk and a prospect. Now, I'm not sure if this is something that these two teams are going to try and work out during the summer, but who knows? Basically, it's a meatball for a meatball kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? Van Riemsdyk, of course, comes with extra baggage. He was a former member of the Toronto Maple Leafs, meaning he's tainted meat. I, for one, will not be welcoming this guy to the Canadiens roster with open arms or anything like that. But it is what it is, Kent.
The hockey junkie.
Stop! Moving on to another strange trade rumor that's been tossed around from the mouth of Elliote Friedman. And this time it involves the Ottawa Senators and their forward Colin White. Apparently, for some reason, Kent Hughes has been kicking the tires on this guy lately. I guess he used to be a player agent for White and used to, represent him. And according to Friedman, a few sources around the NHL actually thought this deal was going to happen for sure. It didn't go down, but they're wondering if this is another one of these deals that get revisited during the summer. No, Colin White is a center. He's 25 years old, but let me tell you, this is not a player that I'm thrilled about either, okay? He signed to a $4.75 million contract right up until the 2025-2026 season, and he hasn't been really living up to the hype over there in Ottawa. So yeah, that's a hard pass for me. Anyway guys, that does it for this Habs News Update. Let me know what you think down there in the dirty old comment section. Don't forget to smash the thumb of that like button on the way out of here with a ball peen hammer, and hey, I'll see you next time.